The Hall of Fame basketball legend Sheryl Swoopes has been criticized for what many people consider to be an unwarranted attack on Caitlin Clark, who is a star player in the WNBA. Fans have accused Swoopes of spreading harmful narratives and undermining Clark's success in the league, and the backlash, which has been swift, has been a direct result of this. Swoopes' assertion that players in the Indiana Fever locker room were dissatisfied with playing alongside Clark was the initial spark that was responsible for the uproar. Nevertheless, recent sightings of Caitlin Clark and her teammate Kelsey Mitchell attending a preseason game for the Pacers point to a different interpretation of the situation. Fans were thrilled to see Clark and Mitchell spending their off-season together and enjoying each other's company. However, Swoopes' earlier comments continue to stir up drama in the WNBA fan base, despite the fact that it was apparent that the team was working together.
What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did.
Swoopes' comments were quickly disproved by fans, who pointed out that Caitlin Clark has been one of the most exciting players in the league. Fans were quick to point out that Swoopes' comments were unfounded. It is impossible to deny the impact that Clark has had on the court, as evidenced by the fact that he has broken records and transformed the Indiana Fever into a competitive team. Swoopes' attempt to minimize Clark's accomplishments has infuriated a great number of people, and some of them have even accused her of being jealous. Fans have pointed out that Swoopes appears to have a personal problem with Clark, particularly due to the fact that Clark has quickly become a renowned celebrity. There was more criticism to come after that. It was brought to the attention of some fans that Swoopes has been making fun of Clark ever since she was in college, and that she has never given Clark the credit that she is due for her achievements.
I don't look at the dominating factor being numbers. It's what you're doing on the floor. And those numbers would change if the factors on the floor changes. If you make that layup, the stats change.
A great number of Swoopes' fans are feeling frustrated as a result of this ongoing narrative. It seems more likely that her remarks are an attempt to stir up controversy than they are to be considered thoughtful criticisms. As a matter of fact, Caitlin Clark has been a dominant player in her first season of professional basketball, and she is doing so in a manner that cannot be refuted. Fans are quick to point out that Clark is one of the brightest stars in the WNBA due to the fact that she has broken multiple rookie records and currently leads the league in assists. Remarks made by Swoopes, in particular those concerning Clark's lack of immediate dominance, give the impression of being more of a personal vendetta. Fans are coming to Clark's defense and calling Swoopes out for what appears to be unwarranted hostility, and it is not surprising that they are doing so.
When everybody else, they're quick to throw stats, right? It's like, oh, well, this is what she did. Like somebody's like, oh, Sheryl Swoopes only scored 34 points in the WNBA. Caitlin scored 35. So you can't use stats when it benefits you.
Each and every one of Clark's achievements during this season speaks for itself. She has already etched her name into the annals of WNBA history with a multitude of accomplishments, including becoming the first rookie to record multiple triple-doubles and leading the league in assists, both of which she accomplished. In spite of all of this, Swoopes continues to minimize her achievements by asserting that Clark's numbers do not constitute dominance. The fans, however, are not buying it. It is acknowledged that Clark has the ability to alter the course of games through her playmaking and leadership on the court. In the eyes of a great number of fans, Swoopes' refusal to acknowledge Clark's success is beginning to tarnish her own legacy. This is becoming increasingly apparent.
The statement was, I don't think either of them are going to come into the league and dominate immediately, meaning what they did in college.
Caitlin Clark entered the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, with high expectations, and she has not only met those expectations, but she has also surpassed them. She has brought the Indiana Fever back from the brink of extinction, transforming them from a struggling franchise into a contender for the playoffs. The fortunes of the team have transformed as a result of her ability to lead, score, and improve the performance of her teammates. Nevertheless, it appears that Swoopes is unwilling to acknowledge Clark's contributions and is instead concentrating on outmoded narratives concerning dominance. In light of the fact that Clark is continuing to break records, Swoopes' criticisms are becoming increasingly unfounded, and fans are becoming more vocal in their devotion to Clark.
It's not going to be as easy as y'all think it's going to be.
Right.
But also saying, don't put all that pressure on these rookies, and just say Angel and Caitlin in particular, because that's who everybody was talking about. Like, don't put all that pressure on them to feel like they got to come in and do what they did in college.
The fact that Swoopes, a former player who is familiar with the transition from college basketball to professional basketball, ought to be praising young stars like Clark rather than tearing them down, is one of the things that makes this situation even more perplexing. Caitlin Clark was under an incredible amount of pressure, but rather than giving in, she flourished under it. Her impact was immediate, demonstrating that she is not only a prominent student in college, but also a talent that transcends generations and has the potential to dominate at the professional level. Fans are requesting that Swoopes acknowledge Clark's brilliance rather than continuing to attempt to discredit her in every possible way. Many people have the opinion that Swoopes is projecting her own insecurities onto Clark, and this is becoming an unfavorable appearance for the Hall of Fame basketball player.
Shout out to Lexi Hull. I'm a big Lexi Hull fan. Watch her in AU. Lexi Hull shot the leather off the ball in their game against Seattle and just couldn't miss.
Even when Swoopes was presented with the opportunity to laud Clark's historic rookie season, she chose to concentrate on other players such as Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston, completely ignoring Clark's accomplishments. It seems as though Swoopes is purposefully avoiding giving credit where credit is due, despite the fact that all of these players have had exceptionally successful seasons. Fans are aware of this pattern with Swoopes, and they have taken notice of it. The fact that Swoopes continues to disregard Clark's contributions has resulted in widespread criticism, with many individuals pointing out that she should be held accountable for taking a biased and unfair stance towards Clark.
Aaliyah Boston, almost a triple-double. Kelsey Mitchell is just stroking. She is just shooting the basketball.
Although it is not a secret that Caitlin Clark has become a controversial figure, the overwhelming support that she is receiving from fans of the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, demonstrates that people perceive talent when they see it. Fans have criticized Swoopes for her comments, accusing her of allowing her own personal biases to interfere with her ability to provide analytically objective feedback. Clark, on the other hand, continues to demonstrate that her skeptics are wrong with each and every game that she attends, and her future in the league appears to be extremely promising. The rise of Caitlin Clark in the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, has been nothing short of meteoric. Despite the criticism that she has received, which is without foundation, particularly from individuals such as Sheryl Swoopes, Clark's performance speaks for itself. She has quickly become the face of a new era in women's basketball, attracting record crowds, increasing the Fever's ticket sales, and breaking barriers that have been considered insurmountable for a very long time. The way that fans and even the media view the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, has been altered as a result of Clark's dominance on the court. She is not only a luminary but also a pioneer in her field. Those who are quick to criticize Clark's individual statistics frequently fail to recognize her capacity to improve the lives of those who are in her immediate vicinity. Her true strength, however, lies in her adaptability, her leadership, and the way that she elevates the performance of her team. The fact that Clark is a complete player has been demonstrated by the fact that she possesses incredible court vision, the ability to pass with precision, and the ability to score. She is not only the leader in terms of scoring, but she also leads in terms of creating opportunities and setting the standard for her teammates, which is something that the Fever desperately needed before she arrived. Clark's story is made even more compelling by the fact that she has shown remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. It is possible that a younger player would have been shaken up by the criticism that came from someone as legendary as Sheryl Swoopes. However, Clark has maintained her composure and determination, and she has used the criticism as fuel to further solidify her situation in the league. She continues to perform at the highest level, ignoring the noise and focusing on what truly matters. Winning games and building a legacy in the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA. This is a testament to her determination and character. A future in which young athletes can dream of reaching the heights that Caitlin Clark has already achieved, and a future in which the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, can continue its upward trajectory. Caitlin Clark is the embodiment of the future of women's basketball. Her presence is assisting the league in reaching new audiences and reshaping the conversation that is taking place regarding women's sports. However, despite the fact that Swoopes' comments have caused controversy, they have only served to highlight Clark's significance to the expansion of the league. When we consider the future, it is abundantly clear that Caitlin Clark's influence will extend well beyond the years that she spent playing. She is contributing to the process of redefining what it means to be a professional athlete, and her influence extends far beyond the performance of the box score. Clark has established herself as a model for the next generation of players, serving as an inspiration to young athletes not only because of her talent, but also because of her perseverance and her ability to gracefully respond to criticism. In a league where players are frequently evaluated based on their capacity to attract attention and fill seats, Caitlin Clark has been able to accomplish both of these things while maintaining her modesty and staying true to her game. Fans may have been outraged by the criticism that Clark has received from Sheryl Swoopes, but it has also helped to solidify Clark's position as the newest icon in the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA. She has garnered the support of her fans, and it is abundantly clear that she is well-positioned to leave an indelible mark on the sport. Clark is receiving support from the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, its players and its fans, while Swoopes is finding herself increasingly isolated in her criticisms. There is still the question of whether or not Swoopes will ever present Clark with the recognition that she merits.